Hello and welcome. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use my random weapon generator plugin for Unity 3D. So to get started you need to go to GitHub first and download the package, the source code of the plugin. I will leave a link to that in the description, so when you get to the page click on clone or download and select download as zip. Once the zip file has been downloaded, extract it and copy its content to your Unity project assets folder. After you have done that, you will find the project structure similar to this one. So if you click on here, you will find a couple of folders: mesh, prefabs, scenes, scripts, and a license and readme file. You can ignore these. So first of all, we must go to tools, random weapon generator, which will open the random weapon generator window when you click on it. Most of the tabs right here or foldouts here are self-explanatory. They allow you to use random weapon parts like random bodies, random stocks, handles, etc. The most important part is the template system. So a template is essentially the base properties that the generator will use to create random properties from. So to make it more clear, let's right click on assets, click on create, select weapons and weapon properties template. Once it's created, let's name it something like default weapons 1. If you look at the inspector window, you will find pistols, SMGs, rifles, etc. These are the base properties for the 4 types of the weapons that the random generator supports. So what does this mean? If we look at the pistols tab, we can find the base magazine size, base projectile count, etc. These will be used, for instance, if I set the magazine size to 5, the generator will choose a random number between the 5 and the multiplier of the quality of the weapon. More on that later. So I'm going to go ahead and set the values quickly. So after you have set the properties, you can choose any number you would like. There is no limits. You can scroll down to find a header that says chances and multipliers. This is basically tells the generator what's the chance of getting a common weapon, uncommon weapon, rare, and epic, legendary, etc. So if I want to have a 60% chance to get a common rank weapon, I'm going to move the slider until it's 0.6. So I'm going to set the chances again for the other rank quickly. So this basically means that we have 60% chance to get a common weapon, 15% to get an uncommon one, 10% to get a rare, 5% to get an epic, and 5% to get a legendary weapon. So let's move down a little bit to find the multipliers. The multipliers, for instance, tells the generator how big the increase in the properties will be, the increase or decrease depending on the property. So for instance, if I have the common rank multiplier set to 2, if the weapon is common, then its magazine size will be doubled. That's also a random, so it may be a range between 5 and 10. That's how the generator works, and that can be tweaked via the source code that's provided in here. it's very easy to understand and modify, so you won't have any problems. Let's continue. So let's go and set the multipliers really quickly. So after you have said this, you must go into the random weapon generator and click on add to add a new template to the list. You can have as many templates as you would like. There's no limits. As the more templates you supply, the more weapon variations you can get. So what about the bodies, stocks, handles, magazines, scopes, and barrels? They are essentially the weapon parts that you need to provide for the generator to work. The most important one is going to be the body. So let's go and see how the bodies work. If you look here, it says a weapon body. That's because it's a script and not a prefab like the others. So let's go and create a sample weapon body. Right click, create a cube. Let's call it example weapon body. Let's remove the collider. Let's scale it a little bit. So we now have a basic cube. Let's go and add a component called weapon body. So let's click on it. As you can see, it has a couple of properties, mainly the type, stock transform, handle, etc. So let's explain them. The type is the type of the weapon. It can be one of four: a pistol, an SMG, a shotgun, or a rifle. You can choose it from this drop down over here. I want this to be a shotgun body. Let's go and excuse me. Let's go and set the stock transform and this other properties. So they basically tells the generator where it should place the chosen part from the other supply parts. Let's go and set it. Stock. Let's move it backwards a little bit. Maybe here. And we'll need a handle for the shotgun. Okay, so it's gonna be 5, and this is gonna be 25, for instance. Let's go and create a barrel transform. So let's set this to 0 and this to 55. So after you create your transforms, select the root object and assign them. If you did notice, I didn't add a magazine or a scope. You can leave whatever you want, because the generator is dynamic. So you can generate weapons without stocks or without magazines, for instance, like I'm going to do. Make sure to assign the correct transforms. So the fire points essentially mean where will the projectiles be created. But since we are going to be firing these weapons in this tutorial, I'm going to ignore it for now. Let's save our project. Grab this and create a prefab out of it. And now we have it right over here. So if we go into the random weapon generator window and click on bodies and add one, we shall drag this and put it right here, and you shall see it saying example weapon body. It shows the weapon body component. So let's delete the object in the scene, save its scene, and go for the parts. So first of all, the stock and the handles and the magazine, scopes, barrels, etc. are all normal prefabs. They don't require special scripts or setup. So I have already made some preset parts I'm going to use. They will be provided in the package as well. I did supply the magazines because I created another 2 example weapon bodies that are included in the package, and we will use them. If you leave a field empty, it doesn't matter. This will tell the generator that it can pick between no scope and a scope, so that's valid as well. This allows for more variation. I'm gonna include it everywhere, I guess. So I have to choose between these two magazines and this empty magazine. Okay, let's go barrels and add a couple of barrels or weapon. I don't suggest you leave an empty slot here because I think all weapons must have barrels. So after you have set up your generator, let's go first for the bodies and add the preset bodies. We now should scroll down in the window and find the tab that says generation. So basically this where you can click on this button to generate a random weapon. Let's test it out. If we disable the camera and the light and go on the weapon, you can see that it generates a weapon, and it assigned some properties to it over here. And if you look at the transforms, they are correctly set. And there's a random weapon name, L3 Technologies M913 rifle. Sorry for the background noise. So let's delete this weapon and go here in the scene and click generate random weapon. And as you can see, it did generate another weapon. And this is very, very fast. This can be used at runtime as well. As you can see, L3 Technologies M486 rifle. That's quite a cool name. So let's delete this weapon and go to the generate grid weapon option. If you click on it, you will find 4 new fields have been shown: the grid width, the height, horizontal set offset, vertical set offset. So what does this do is just instead of you manually generating weapons, it will generate multiple weapons for you. So I want to generate 16 weapons, so I'm going to set the width and height to 4, consider it whatever you want. Any number higher than 1024 is going to be very slow. Let's set the offset on the horizontal and vertical axis to 2 and click on generate random weapon. As you can see, it did generate 16 different weapons. Some of them may be a little bit bugged, but as you can see, let's delete this patch and regenerate it without the broken body, sorry. Let's click on generate, and if you look over here, you can find that most of the weapons have different look, and if you select them, they have different properties as well. And if you look at this rifle, it's a common rifle. It has some weaknesses, but if you look at the uncommon one, it has an improved properties. So although they are in the same rank, they have different properties. If you look at the pistol, it does have some random properties, and this one, look at the weapons, they are all random. And they have chances to be any of the ranks. So this time we didn't get any legendary weapons. Let's generate another patch. This time I'll make it a little bit bigger, 25 weapons. As you can see, they are just generated in a snap, and as you can see, most of them are distinctive from each other. And they can be saved as prefabs. And let's look at this. We got a legendary pistol, a common rifle, an uncommon rifle, etc. So as you can see, the plugin is very easy to use, and it allows for some very interesting weapon combinations. If you wonder if this can be used for melee weapons, in theory it shall be working as well. You can assign a handle and a body only, but I do not recommend doing this. I will add support for another more weapon types very soon. Until then, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And if you want to support me, please check out my Patreon page. Thanks so much for watching.